It's a big day for the sickness speedrunning community. After many, many attempts and a bunch of immune system elasticity, I finally beat the record. And it's kind of convoluted. I'll tell you exactly how I did it. So, in sickness speedrunning, you define the start of the sickness as when you first notice it, which is pretty subjective and allows people to cheat, which is why it's such a fun speedrunning category. So the way you can really get around noticing, and it's on honor system, like you could obviously just lie, but like that's, come on. So what I do is I find a way to get sick. Usually the best way is to just like go find a bunch of girls to make out with. I don't have footage of that, but it happened, trust me. And then after I do that, and after I know I'm going to get sick, I try to sleep for as long as possible, because if you sleep continuously, like through when your immune system first gets hit, then you won't notice it for a very long time. And if you can sleep all the way through it, well, you don't want to sleep all the way through it because then you never noticed you got sick in the first place. What you want is to sleep right up until like 10 minutes before you get better. And that would be like a 10-minute speed run, you know? And when you get better is also kind of subjective. That's just when you feel like it. You can also kind of cheese that one a little bit. But here's some advice, some techniques for getting better really quickly. So what I like to do is just drink a ridiculous amount of fluids to get the stuff passing through you. And it's not so straightforward as just drinking like water or juice or whatever. You can do a couple of other optimizations on top of that. So water is like your base. You drink a bunch of that. Then tea is also really good because it increases your body temperature. And it's also a diuretic. So you'll pee more, which means like more fluid circulation means you can drink more. And the increasing the body temperature is a very interesting point. Some people say that you want to do that when you're sick because it's kind of helping your body fight off whatever. Some people like are kind of more into reducing the fever with like aspirin. That's such an amateur move. That's going to end the speed run right away if you do that. The science is kind of out on increasing fever, but I don't know, like the speedrunning community is pretty much unanimously decided increasing temperature is good. So yeah, tea is good for that. Another great one is ramen, because that increases your temperature. It's also an easy source of carbs, and on top of that, it's got a ton of salt, which offsets the water, because you don't want too much water. I actually drank too much one time. I went blind in one eye for a little bit. And I had a terrible headache. But if you eat ramen, which is usually kind of bad for you, the sodium like offsets the water, so that means more fluid in, more fluid out. And yeah, also other stimulants like coffee and tea. Coffee is more powerful. Like that'll raise your body temperature as well because it's raising your heart rate. That's great. Any other kind of stimulant too is pretty solid. Get that body temperature up there. I also like to put an egg in ramen often because that's extra protein for free, basically. I think it might have a little bit of salt, but I don't know. If you don't have that stuff, you can also just eat salt. That lets you drink more water. And also take like a ton of supplements. I take so many supplements. Well, that's actually an egg. That's not a supplement, but just when I'm sick, like I find a bunch of multivitamins, whatever random stuff is lying around, to be honest. I'm not that serious about this speedrun, even though I have the world record now, according to me. But yeah, all that stuff is pretty good. So I combined it all. I got better in about, I don't know, a day, 8 hours, realistically, without all the sleep nonsense. Like, actually being serious about this. So that is some actual advice. Really, fluid cycle maxing with diuretics and stimulants really cures you pretty quickly. Lots of vitamins, too. That's about it for this one. I'll catch you next time.